Okay, Assalamualaikum. A very good morning. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to webinar at MAHSA University. Okay, currently we are working from home, but our webinar series will be ongoing. Okay, first of all, our topic today is the absorbent mind, which will focus on the sensory development. Okay, may I briefly introduce to our honorable guest, Puan Norliyana Raya. Okay, Puan Norliyana Raya, she served as an occupational therapist with more than 10 years experience. She also graduated with a degree and diploma in occupational rehabilitation from University Technology Mara, UITM. She specialized in pediatrics and have served at other private therapy centers around Klang Valley. She also owns a child development and rehabilitation consulting company specializing in treatment for children with special needs in schools and kindergarten around Putrajaya and Negeri Sembilan. Okay, without further ado, Puan Norliyana, you can share with us your knowledge and experience.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Norliyana binti Raya. Okay, I'm occupational therapist as mentioned by Puan Aimi just now. Occupational therapist that specializing in pediatric area. Pediatric means we are actually focusing on children's developmental delay issues. Okay, autism, cerebral palsy, and so many conditions ataupun or diagnosis related with the children. Okay, so as an honor today, Alhamdulillah, thank you to MAHSA University College because you invited me, your coordinator program for ECE program invited me to really orang kata apa be together in this webinar. And then kita nak talk a lot about sensory development in children, which is really related with children education. Yes, okay.
Yeah,
So,
thank you so much,
yeah.
Puan Norliyana.
Yes, terima kasih juga Puan Aimi. Thank you so much.
Okay, can I would really appreciate if you guys can fill up the feedback form, okay, before we start our session, okay? So yes, Puan, you can start now.
Okay, so this is my slide. Alright, ni saya tulis bahasa Melayu lah. Okay, so I translate, saya mix up language lah dekat sini ya. Okay, kita
Sure,
we are going to talk about perkembangan sensory or sensory development. So next slide is you can see in the next slide there are so many sensory differences ataupun DERIA sensors in our body, which actually kita semua as a human being ataupun manusia memang tak kisahlah what kind of religion you are actually born with this kind of senses. Alright, so as you see, there are visual, which is the sight, okay, the olfactory, kita panggil the smell, the senses of the smell coming from your nose. Okay, you look into gustatory, which is the taste sense, vestibular, balance, okay, about auditory, and then kita ada auditory, which is the hearing, tactile, which is the touching part, touching senses, and also proprioception, which is kita panggil body awareness, ataupun we can just say that our body is actually built up by muscles and joints. So muscle and joints ni dia work out into some proprioception punya input towards our central nervous system. So sebab tu kita panggil macam body awareness apa semualah. So I will explain further about it later. Okay, next. Alright, so kita tengok tactile tu as in Aida. Okay, alright, sorry. So for before we start, sorry, I forgot to mention to you all. Yeah, actually today I'm at my center, Little Rehab dekat Semenyih, in Semenyih. Okay, so we actually have autistic children ranging from category moderate to severe cases yang mana attending therapy, and it is still allowed by Majlis Keselamatan Negara untuk kita operating our service here. And if you listen, there are so many screaming things and so on. So because I take children with moderate to severe autism in my center. So hopefully all of you can focus on what I'm going to tell you, what I'm going to educate you regarding the sensory thing, sensory development. Sebab dekat kanak-kanak yang autism yang ada sekarang ni pun, they are all having sensory issues. So that is why certain children, when they are developing their sensory, when the sensory system is working throughout 0 to 6 years old, if there is any symptoms related sama dengan autism, then we should go for check. So that's why I'm giving you the theory first, and then later I will show you apa yang ataupun what are the components yang really you need to look into in the sensory development of a child, yang mana you should take action. Oh, kita kena tahu this one may very similar symptom with the autism or not. Okay, so yeah, okay, now kita pergi kepada kita punya slide. Alright, so you tengok tactile, okay, DERIA sentuhan or the touch senses. Okay, kulit ataupun skin is the largest organ of the body. Semua orang ada skin. Okay, so for a child to develop, they need to touch every single thing around them. They need to really know the texture. Texture ni, this is a sticky texture, this is the soft texture, this is a sandy texture ke, okay, texture rumput and so on. Why? Because this help them in getting, this will help them to the function of the focus when they grow up. Okay, so that's why all of us kena pandai main pasir, pandai main tanah, kena pandai main macam-macam texture around us, and it helps in terms of moving the fingers. So but for those yang ada sensory issue regarding the tactile issue, like my children here, the autistic children here, they will scream if they touch something that irrelevant to them. Dia orang rasa macam, oh okay, oh this texture I cannot, this texture, this sticky texture, oh I cannot tolerate with it. As in when we give the glue texture, they feel, oh no, I'm so scared about it. They don't tell you lah, but of course they are screaming, you know. So they show that they are very scared about it. So how do you expect that the child can focus later in their learning, or in their academic? So that's why when I receive so many questions related with the focus issue or attention issue, I will look into the tactile sensory things first. Okay, I have to see if the child is actually okay tolerating with the texture input. As in glue, they can feel the glue, they can play with sticky textures and everything. So it shows that their focus is they can focus in their in their academic things. But if let's say they have fear, oh no, okay, I have to really treat this. Alright, so now next we go to the vestibular, which is about the keseimbangan badan or the balance. Okay, our balance system, that's why when we were still in our childhood, we like to spin around, spin, and you see bila kita spin saja, we really want the feeling of pening, and then stop and sit down. Kena observe. So why do we need that? Okay, that is where we are activating, when we do the spinning, we are actually activating the vestibular system in our body. So vestibular system, the function is actually to help us slowing down our motion, giving a pause to our motion, and also making our motion into the fastest way, and so on lah. Alright, so the vestibular system is very important. If there is any curbs around us, macam ada halangan ataupun ada longkang, you know, so it's like macam we have to know how to step on it. We have to know how do we stop, and then how, so that we don't fall. Okay, and also we really need to learn about the gravity. Gravity as in macam, okay, so you have your center of gravity is at your belly button, iaitu your pusat. So whenever you feel like you are actually nak jatuh, gravity will pull you down. If you don't have the ability to balance yourself to resist the gravity punya pulling, so you akan jatuh lah. So that's why you need this kind of vestibular vestibular system to function well in order untuk you organize your movement. So dekat situ ada children yang memang ada issue related with the vestibular systems, like in children with autism and attention deficit hyperactive disorder. So that's why you see the vestibular system, sebab tu dia orang suka sangat, they are all too much all out, you know, there are so many, so movement dia orang are very aggressive, they do not know how to stop, they do not know how to pause, they just macam main taram je, hentam saja, you ada curbs, ada halangan, tak ada halangan, they just go for it. Alright. Okay, so then we will talk about proprioceptive. Okay, proprioceptive, as I mentioned before, about body awareness regarding otot dan sendi, the muscles and your joints. Muscles are the organ covering underlying beneath the skin. Okay, bawah skin kita ada muscle, and when you see your body, you see there are so many movement of the head joint, you see, okay, and then the shoulder joint, the elbow joint. So mana-mana yang boleh move tu kita panggil joints, okay, including your fingers, your feet, your pinggang, you know. So it's like joints and muscles are very important, especially for a child to develop their writing skills. Okay, so how do you decide actually? How do you decide? How do you hold the pencil? How do you provide pressure? Is it light or very high pressure when holding the pencil? Macam mana you decide? No, you don't decide. Your brain decide, because you dulu involve a lot in activities like hanging the monkey bar, you know. You do a lot of physical activities involving strength towards your muscles and joints. You banyak buat aktiviti merangkak, you crawl, and then you do a lot of push-ups and so on. So it helps a lot for the brain to determine how do you hold the pencil and how do you maintain your pressure during writing. So it is so necessary for a child actually to know the amount of energy untuk to do certain movement. For example, kalau you ada satu jug, satu bekas berisi air penuh, of course you will hold it in a very slow, supaya in a slow movement, so that tak jatuh. You nak bring it from one place to another, you kena hold very very perlahan-lahan, very careful, you know, so that tak jatuh. So your body knows how to exert the energy. But if you have a jug tanpa air, kosong je, so you boleh pegang macam tu saja, right? So that's how because of you dah banyak main crawling things, you know, banyak buat endurance activities and so on related towards your muscles and joints, you dah boleh, your brain automatically will determine the energy. Okay. Now later I will show you more. Okay, so visual is about penglihatan. Alright, so as in baby dalam womb dalam rahim, okay, masa you baby dalam rahim, you tak nampak apa-apa, it's very dark, it's very okay, you tak tahu pun actually there is another world outside the womb. Okay, so when baby born, bila baby lahir saja, you see baby akan cry bila dia tahu, oh dah keluar je nampak ada some kind of light. So of course dia akan rasa macam, oh what world is this? Of course dia kena cry. So kenapa kena cry is because they need time to adapt and modify, to adapt themselves towards the changes of the environment, from dark to the light, to the light situation. Okay, so dia kena rasa macam, oh this is something new, and after sometimes they adapt to it, dia pun dah biasa, oh dia terkebil-kebil tengok, oh wow, this is something new to me, I have never seen the world like this. Okay, so dia akan macam, okay, so lama-lama dia kena adapt. For certain children with autism especially, certain children, because of this issue, dia tak boleh adapt with the changes of the environment. Okay, the senses, the visual sense tak boleh nak macam, oh this is something new for me, so they keep on crying. Also when they grow up, at the age of lebih kurang setahun macam tu, 12 months old like that, dia akan show symptom related with, oh, I'm seeking for that light, I'm seeking for that particular things, I'm seeking for spinning objects, I'm seeking for, dia akan ada that kind of behavior yang related with the sensory issues ni lah. Alright. Okay, so auditory is about listening, pendengaran. Okay, your ear is the main organ for the listening part, for the auditory senses. Okay. So we need to determine every single things in our environment. So we need to know this is the sound of the car, this is the sound of the cat, this is the sound of, oh, you can listen to the to the noisy sounds out there, but you can still focus. So your auditory attention is very good. Okay, so kita akan talk about auditory ni later on. Okay, olfactory is about bau, senses of the smell. Okay, so you need to know this is a good smell, this is a bad smell, or this is busuk lah, this is wangi lah. So you need to know. Okay, about gustatory, rasa. About the organ is in your tongue. Alright. So there are so many senses should come into the tongue to activate the brain function. Okay, now inside our brain dah ada rasa masam, rasa masin, rasa manis, rasa pahit and so on. It's the matter of you kena bagi stimulation. You kena stimulate your tongue, kena bagi a lot of different taste, texture of the food to the mouth, so that brain can detect and brain can function. Dia tahu, oh, rasa masam, oh, masakan ni tak cukup masam lah, kena bubuh banyak lagi asam keping ke something like that lah. Oh, tak cukup masin lah, I need to put a lot of salt, some more salt lah dalam this food and so on. So you know, it has a lot of functions in our daily life. So children should grow with this kind of senses. This is what we call sensory development. Okay, next we go. You look into okay, where does it put kat mana letaknya all the senses ni dalam our central nervous system. This is the pyramid of learning. So you see academic learning dekat bahagian cognition, intellect. Alright, so dekat situ academic learning. Tapi dekat bawah tu yang ada central nervous system, the tapak ataupun the base, you nampak kat situ ada senses of tactile, vestibular, proprioception, olfactory, visual, auditory, gustatory. Kat situ letak dia. Our central nervous system consists of our spine, okay, betul. Tulang belakang, spinal cord, okay. Spinal cord and brain. Spinal cord tu kan yang kita punya saraf tunjang. Kalau bahasa Melayu, saraf tunjang together with our brain. So kat situ letaknya all these senses coming from the body. Okay, so dia proses kat situ. Proses of course dekat brain, tapi dia receive, dia interpret and so on. Semua dekat from the spine, from our spinal cord towards the brain. Okay. Now, bila the central nervous system is actually strong enough, barulah dia boleh activate sensory motor development, which is the postural security yang macam I cakap tadi, bila about the balancing things. Bila you jatuh, bila gravity pulling, you tahu dah nak against the gravity, so to balance back yourself. Okay, the awareness of two sides of the body, left and right. Okay, your body ada dua side, and then ada lagi dua side, atas bawah, up and down. So you know the front and back, oh ada dua side, each of it ada dua side. Okay, ada dua side, one side tu ada dua sides. Alright, sebab nak membaca, to go for learning, you have to go pass through left to the right. Kalau tulisan Jawi, right to the left, you know. So it's actually crossing the midline of the body. So motor planning. Motor planning is about planning your movement. Movement planning ni is very important. You nak buka baju, you nak buka seluar, you need to know how to put in my tangan dalam baju, how to put in my kaki dalam seluar. You need to know. So those sensory is very important untuk activate the motor planning things. Okay, so body scheme, reflex maturity and ability to screen input, semua ni ada dalam brain function kita. Okay, yang mana nampak ketika mana seseorang kanak-kanak tu melakukan pergerakan later on. And when we go into the perceptual motor development, dia akan activate perceptual motor development as in eye-hand coordination. I'm sure you are very familiar with the term. Ocular motor control as in mata tengok kat mana. Okay, bila membacakan you kena tengok kat mana. Okay, you have to follow. When you want to copy, you have to do like this some more. Okay, so postural adjustment. Okay, postural adjustment, adjusting your body when you sitting down on the chair. How do you should sit down? when you are holding a pencil, you should use your the movement of the wrist and the fingers, but not using your shoulder. Okay, nowadays children at the age of 4 years old, I've seen to 4 to 6 masih lagi menggunakan bahu as to compensate the kata orang kata tak the non-strengthening part of the wrist and fingers. Padahal when you write, you have to use a lot of fingers and wrist movement. Now ada lagi so you learn about a lot of language. So you need to know, okay, this is Mandarin language, this is Bahasa Melayu punya language, this is there are so many language around us. Then you need to detect which language are you using it, and you are going to speak about it. Okay. Visual spatial perception is actually regarding macam mana you see the things as in how do you see. Okay, contoh macam for example, kanak-kanak with dyslexia, dyslexic children, at the age of 6, dia nampak kan penulisan tu terbalik, penulisan terbalik. Dia nampak bila membaca je, dia nampak tulisan tu macam menari-nari. They are like so dia tak boleh fokus. Oh, what am I going to focus now? So dia punya persepsi ataupun perception towards the letters are as in, letters tu menari-nari lah, macam tu. Okay, so actually bila you strengthen out the central nervous system, children will be able to do visual spatial perception. As in bila reading kan, dia tahu, this is B, this is D, this is U, this is N, this is P, this is Q. So dia tak terbalik, tak ada buat mirror and everything. Okay, and then kita ada attention center function. Of course, bila our sensory system is quite stable enough, okay, quite good enough, dia akan activate the higher executive function of the brain, which is ada frontal lobe. Kat sini ada focus, kat sini ada understanding, kat sini lah ada macam-macam higher function punya things, so that it will help a lot of in daily living activities, the children behavior as well as academic learning. So all of this develop from 0 to 6 years old, So you tengok central nervous system, you letak kosong kat situ, umur kosong sampailah you bawa ke atas tu cognition intellect sampai ke usia 6 tahun. So bila kat sini tak stabil, tak well equipped enough, then it will affect the rest of the children's life later in their life. Okay, so next, sama saja. Alright, okay. Oh, sorry, I talk too fast. So if let's say if I think okay, I hope you tak apa, kita akan I'll try to slow down okay. Alright, so ni sama saja, this is the same. Okay, next lagi kita go lagi to show you where is the sensory ni diletakkan lah. Basically dekat akar akar dia mesti ada sensory things or sensory development. Okay, next. Alright, so see, ni pun sama juga. Next, just to show you sajalah. Okay, ni next saya dah explain. Okay, next lagi. Okay, so now setiap DERIA bertindak balas dengan rangsangan melalui interpretasi emosi tertentu. Every single stimulation coming from our environment will actually develop a lot of feedbacks related with the emotions inside the brain, okay, before they go for higher learning. Alright, so I show you the graph lah. Okay, next. Okay, just macam next je, nak tunjuk the pattern of the, okay. Yes, alright. So kita nextkan saja. Alright. Oh, sorry. Before tadi. Okay, that's it. Alright. So kita punya emotion, our emotion is too much determined by the stimulation that we receive from our environment. Okay, we will be either too excited, too scared, or too geli. Okay. Ataupun we don't have any feelings towards the stimulation. For example, ular. Oh, I'm very scared with ular. So, kalau I nampak ular or the snake dalam TV pun, I rasa macam, my visual sense detect the ular dalam TV pun, I feel like the ular is actually around me. Dia punya takut tu is into that level. So, you see nampak dia akan activate my central nervous system akan jadi dia ada, kita panggil adrenaline rush lah. Kita rasa macam wow, okay, the panic attack is there, you know, the anxiety is there. Oh, rasa macam ada pula, oh my god, oh I so geli, oh cannot, dia macam tu. Okay, and then tandas kotor. Okay, see, tandas kotor actually certain of us boleh tolerate with it. Okay, certain of us cannot. Like me, tandas kotor sikit tu I boleh tolerate lah. Nak cakap geli tu tak, geli tu pun I basuh-basuh sikit, then it's okay. I dapat my calming point already. Okay, so I setakat macam tandas kotor tu, to me I can still tolerate lah. Tapi kalau kotor sangat I cannot tolerate, so I will leave the situation. I don't like it. Okay, so all the smells lah, all the visual things lah kan, senses kita macam dah, is too much lah for us to take it kalau dah kotor sangat. Okay, now kalau lah let's say macam as simple as us, as a human being, you nampak je, perempuan lah, orang perempuan kan, you nampak je sale 70%, 80%, 90%. Wow, you punya excitement, your central nervous system macam apa je. Wow, there are sales coming in. Oh no, I have to go there. Jadi you rasa tak lalu makan lah, you rasa nak tidur, tak lalu tak cukup, tak puas nak tidur lah, mandi pun tak basah. Until you go there, baru you rasa puas hati. Walaupun you tak beli anything pun from the sale, you just tengok saja pun, you already feel that leganya. Okay, so you know, nampak how that stimulation, I talk about more onto the visual things lah kan, how that stimulation betul-betul bagi impact pada our central nervous system to work out with our emotions and also to work out with our executive function here. Okay, and then as in for example for men, bila dia nampak bola je, akan ada perlawanan bola saja, dia akan rasa macam dah start dah. Okay, I kena bangun pukul 2-3 pagi ni. Start the game will start at 2 AM. So I kena bangun. So dia jadi macam tu tau. Dia akan, tapi bagi orang perempuan tengok bola, tak semualah, ada setengah-setengah, kebanyakan lah orang perempuan bila tengok bola, I don't have feeling about it. Sama juga macam lelaki, I don't have feeling about it. Kalau tengok sale, tak ada apa-apa pun. You know. So it's actually pada the emotional feedback tu depends on gender, depends on our memory lah, our experience and so on. Okay, so macam contoh my husband jumpa ex-girlfriend, I tak rasa jealous, I feel like nothing pun. I feel like okay, you nak jumpa ex-girlfriend dia kan, you tak kahwin kan dengan your ex-girlfriend. Kalau you cakap kahwin, yes, my central nervous system will work out too much lah for you macam tu lah, right? Okay, so next we go to the next. Alright, so all of this interpretation kita panggil sebagai sensory integration. So you nampak sensory development, dia akan sentiasa work into each other dalam 7 senses tadi tu. Dia akan integrate together, panggil sensory integration. So it's a neurobiological process yang mana otak dia receive the information with all the senses that we have, dia akan proses dekat brain kita. Dia akan buat banyak proses dekat dalam brain. So dia receive banyak-banyak information through the skin, through our tongue. Through our tongue, which stimulate the gustatory things. So through our visual, to our hearing and so on, dia akan integrate together. So the senses don't work out alone. They work out as in group. Okay, to integrate well in our body. But for certain children, this is certain children yang ada sensory processing disorder, or also known as sensory integration dysfunction. Okay, they have some kind of processing issue inside the brain. All the senses receive the information sama je. Tak ada orang kata tak ada salah. But when it comes to central nervous system, particularly at the brain, dia punya proses jadi macam dysfunction sikit. Dia macam ada blocking here, blocking there. So that's why lah you see children with autism ataupun ADHD, dengar je bunyi guruh ke, bunyi apa, thunderstorm kan, hujan kan, they cannot tolerate with the sound. Yes, the sound. Okay, dia bunyi je certain bunyi as simple as macam ada kipas, ada aircon, dia rasa macam bunyi aircon tu very interrupting, dia akan macam so dia akan menjerit. So that's why information sama je terima. Kita pun ada tengok juga kipas, kita pun dengar juga bunyi kipas, kita pun dengar juga bunyi aircon. But then kenapa kita boleh fokus? Kita tak ada masalah pun. But how come these children ada masalah, tak boleh dengar? What happened? So this is what we call sensory processing disorder. Okay, ada setengah budak bila main je dengan texture tertentu, main dengan glue je, dia akan tak boleh, dia punya tangan very keras, so dia don't know, what is this, dia akan menjerit, dia akan screaming macam ni lah, okay, so dia akan buat macam-macam behavior, dia akan lari lah, so when the it's just a glue, right? For us, for normal, bila our sensory integration system ataupun sensory system kita work function in a functional way, yang normal way lah, kita akan rasa it's just a glue, right? Okay, but for them, when it comes to bila ada processing disorder, they feel like, okay, this is not a glue, this is hurt, sakit kot, dia rasa sakit, otak tafsir sakit, what? You feel pain? So that's why as in socially punya social manners ataupun social, kita punya contact social, kita akan rasa macam peliknya budak ni. Okay, so so macam sama juga macam certain children alright, so you see bila kita panggil nama dia, alright, kita panggil, so for example lah, my child's name, I panggil Alisha, yes mama, so dia akan respond. I panggil saja Alisha, the auditory, dia tahu dah. The auditory function tahu dah. Yes, mama. Yeah, she's 2 years old, Okay. Yes, mama. Dia tahu dah. Yeah, mama. But for certain children, when we call their name, Adam, they don't really know that their name is Adam. My name is Adam. I tak tahu pun. Still buat tak tahu, buat don't know. You panggil. So, you see, there is something wrong with the processing thing. So you nampak, you panggil macam biasa, but processing side, dia tak tahu pun itu apa. And dia pun tak boleh nak determine sound from environment. Cikgu tu panggil budak lain, dia pun macam dia ingat, dan juga panggil dia sekali, dia rasa macam okay, I tend to ignore it. So you nampak tak? This create dysfunction of a child, betul? Okay, sama juga macam certain for example for the vestibular and proprioception tadi lah. So the vestibular system bila you nampak hyperactive children with attention issue kat situ, you nampak dia suka sangat berlari, suka sangat, until the child interrupt the class. Teacher suruh duduk, teacher suruh listen, semua budak boleh listen, but this one particular child, no, I'm not going to listen pun, dia takkan listen pun, dia akan lari, dia akan pak kawan, dia akan macam-macam lah dia akan buat. So dia kacau everything, the behavior is very impulsive, very hyper. So what do they do? It's actually it's actually the brain yang tak boleh process information tu. Information yang cikgu cakap, okay, everybody sit down, we are going to start with our lesson now. Dia tak boleh process. So something wrong with the processing system ataupun kita panggil sensory processing disorder dekat dia punya brain. Alright. So next. Okay, sensory processing disorder macam I cakap tadi, kecelaruan sensori, so those yang ada sensory processing disorder akan tunjukkan behavior ataupun tingkah laku yang tak dapat diterima oleh masyarakat pun. As in when you go to this tadika taska pun sama, you akan nampak if this one particular children develop sensory processing disorder issue, dia akan show different types of behavior lah, and you will see. And mostly diagnosis dia adalah ADD, Attention Deficit Disorder, Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder, ADHD, Autism, dyslexia ni related with the learning lah. Usually behavior yang kanak-kanak dyslexia tunjuk ni mostly dia rasa teacher penat lah, malas, dia macam dalam kelas tu dia teacher cakap something, orang lain dah start dah pun buat aktiviti tapi dia macam dia awang-awangan, what to do, tak tahu pun, dia pula dah dia kacau kawan, Okay, dyspraxia is something related with the motor planning ataupun movement planning disorder. Dia macam I cakap tadi, tak tahu nak pakai baju, tangan nak masuk kat mana, tangan, eventually kalau dia orang pakai baju kanak-kanak dyspraxia, you letak je baju, dia akan masuk tangan kat mana-mana saja lubang yang ada, lubang neck, lubang tangan ni ke ataupun lubang kat bawah tu ke, dia akan masuk macam tu saja. They do not know how to plan nak masuk tangan dalam baju pun. Okay, OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder yang mana mostly nampak dekat kanak-kanak yang terlalu nak pembersih sangat, terlalu anxious. Kalau macam naik buaian ke something related with the gravity jauh sikit dari dia macam naik buaian kan, dia akan what is this, dia macam tu. Okay, so it's actually ketidakupayaan otak lah untuk mentafsir maklumat yang diterima dengan baik, and the behavior we call it as meltdown. Dia bukannya tantrum but it's meltdown. Tantrum ni senang je. You tengok tantrum adalah things yang behavior yang kanak-kanak show dekat you yang mana dia nak something dia tak dapat. Tu saja. But tingkah laku meltdown basically is a neurobiological things. Okay, so sensory processing disorder issue, sama ada hari tu budak tu demam, sakit, tak cukup tidur, miss out certain medication things and so on, kita panggil tingkah laku dia meltdown. So that is another topic pula lah, behavior topic. Okay, so SPD apa yang terjadi macam I cakap tadi, input masuk better, tak ada masalah. Autism punya brain, you go to the next slide. Okay, kita bagi autism punya brain lah basically SPD punya brain lah, traffic jam. Information masuk banyak je tapi traffic jam dekat sini. So next slide, kita akan tengok dia pun cari jalan, dia jadi macam traffic jam lah Okay, so next slide, dia dah stress, so dia pun akan cari jalan keluar yang lain. So you nampak lah maksudnya, tadi contoh macam cikgu panggil nama dia Adam, dia pun otak dia tengah tak tahu. Okay, masuk information tu, nama Adam tu masuk, tapi a lot of things masuk lagi tau dalam, dengan bunyi kipas, bunyi tu bunyi ni masuk lagi dalam telinga dia, but dekat brain dia tengah berlaku something yang macam traffic jam tadi lah dia tak tahu macam mana nak proses, and of course dia akan ambil jalan lain which is buat tak tahu je. That's the jalan lain yang dia ambil. Okay, so alright, so now kita ada sensory seeking, sensory avoidance. This one is actually very technical, yang mana terapi sahaja yang boleh assess untuk ni. But for your knowledge as in public, kita dapat you tengok sensory seeking behavior ni, saya tunjuk sikit saja okay, tak boleh duduk diam, suka sangat dengan sesuatu rangsangan, as in kadang-kadang ada setengah-setengah budak dia suka je, kalau dia suka touch sangat kan, touch certain things, dia akan padahal telefon tu texture dia kita rasa macam biasa je, tapi pada dia I want this thing, okay, kadang ada tisu kat depan pun dia akan macam dia suka sangat, dia main benda tu, so dia rasa macam seeking for it. Okay, craving, dia macam mengidam, nak sangat dengan sesuatu stimulation ataupun rangsangan macam tisu ni. Ada setengah budak dia suka bau tu, dia akan bau, dia nak, dia craving so kita panggil sensory seeking behavior. Sensory avoidant, dia takut sangat dengan sesuatu rangsangan. Okay, macam I cakap tadi, bila gravity dah lebih daripada badan dia sendiri, dia dah takut sangat, bila I bagi je glue, texture glue, tak boleh, dia takut. Itu sensory avoidant behavior lah kita panggil. Sangat takut sampai tak boleh function pun dalam kehidupan harian. Okay, so next, kita kata lagi, ada sensory discrimination and sensory awareness ni adalah sukar untuk membezakan sesuatu texture, suhu, rasa, kedalaman, ketinggian and then also stupor, tak ada kesedaran, kadang-kadang tindak balas tu lambat, setengah kanak-kanak menunjukkan kekuatan otot yang lemah, the muscles and joints are very weak, no eye contact, tak respon dengan arahan atau nama sendiri. So kita kategorikan into sensory awareness and discrimination. So let's go, kita tengok next. Okay, kita tengok pada rawatan lah kot. Okay, kita pergi kepada rawatan lah. So, asas utama rawatan yang biasanya terapis bagi, as in terapi kita bagi, the tactile activities, vestibular activities, proprioception activities, kita bagi. You search sahaja dalam Google, you cari je vestibular activities, proprioception activities, tactile activities. Efek dia adalah untuk memberi tactile, untuk memberi ketenangan. Okay, vestibular to make the body more ready, and also proprioception to make movement more organized. Okay, so okay, kita tengok kaedah pelaksanaan. Alright. So, kita banyak bagi untuk tactile, untuk skin, alright. Skin, actually that's why into the early childhood education pun, I actually sekarang ni, kita, okay, nowadays children, they live with minimal stimulation from the environment. Tak macam kita dulu. Kita dulu banyak keluar, main dekat luar, main pasir, main tanah, even main lumpur, main longkang, you know. So benda-benda tu semua we are all already experiencing it. And it is so fun until we take it as our childhood memories ataupun kita take it as in our play time, you know. So you see sekarang ni kita boleh bagi tahu pun dekat anak kita, cucu kita, you know, kita kata oh dulu mama dulu main tanah, main pasir, main best, seronok sangat kan. But nowadays, no, children, especially parents yang overprotective, main pasir tu dia kata no, kotor, no, tak boleh. You see, you dah develop perception pada anak-anak you yang kata main pasir tu dah kotor, kemudian main tanah tak boleh, pijak rumput pun tak boleh, so many kuman outside there lah, apalah, you know. Kuman is needed to our body. Believe me, our body perlu protect the kuman yang masuk. They need to match each other. Kuman ni masuk, oh mana antibody dia, mana antibody kena match. Kuman ni masuk, oh mana antibody, cari antibody match to enhance our immune system ataupun our immune system. That's the booster. But then bila kita too much menghalang anak, and children also they don't really develop all these things kan masa kecil. You see, sensory processing disorder might appear for certain children. Sensory processing dysfunction might appear to certain children. Okay, yang mana kadang-kadang is not mainly autism pun. So because autism is actually born with that kind of things, sensory processing disorder issue, dia memang akan develop. But children nowadays living with our lifestyle now, okay, they don't really have that kind of stimulations, so dia punya behavior yang related with sensory processing disorder tu sangat-sangat menyamai ataupun sama ataupun similar for those children with autism. So that's why bila I tengok je children with certain issues, sensory processing disorder issues, I won't say that child is autism. First, I will say there are other sensory processing disorder. Until we give the treatment, all of this treatment yang I akan cakap sekejap lagi, okay, bila kita bagi saja all this treatment, then we will see the effect. Kalau kata effect dia cepat, maksudnya budak tu dah boleh function normally, then it's good. Okay, the child doesn't have autism. But then kalau effect dia lama, usually 3 to 6 months ambil masa, then kita akan kata yes, you have to kena check anak ni as in autism or not. Sebab dia macam simptom je sebenarnya. As in demam punca dia mungkin COVID, demam puncanya mungkin you sesama, demam mungkin punca dia you sakit tonsil, okay, demam mungkin punca dia adalah bla bla bla, something like that. So kadang-kadang kita ni treat demam makan Panadol. Sama juga, saya akan terapis ataupun cikgu pun sebenarnya kita boleh treat sensory processing disorder symptom macam kita treat Panadol, kita makan Panadol untuk treat our demam. Faham tak? So, nak tak nak kita kena buat banyak activities yang related with the sensory things. Yang I will talk about it later. I bagi some rough idea dulu. Okay. Bila kita bagi sahaja activities related with the sensory system, kita akan tengok, oh suddenly dah hilang lah sensory issue dia. Oh, within 2 weeks time, dah tak ada dah budak ni punya isu yang macam tu macam ni semua. Oh, okay. Now I think, yeah. Alright, so kat situ kita tahu anak ni actually grow up in a normal way, but because of overprotective parents, because of giving gadget too much, because of tak bagi banyak stimulations from the environment, kita tahu anak ni develop the symptoms, sensory processing disorder symptom. Tapi for certain children pula kita try bagi activities, okay kita dah bagi tapi still banyak lagi isu lain je, alamak macam so many things saja, okay macam tak settle, then query dekat situ for autism punya assessment, okay. Yang itu kena go for pakar lah, so kena bawa jumpa doktor tahu macam mana nak ni, okay, nak bawa children ni pergi ke mana, department mana, alright. So first kita tengok, I hope that kita go through, I hope that semua early childhood education people out there, parents out there, do all these activities yang I nak bagi ni, as in, you tengok activity deep pressure. Deep pressure ni macam massage, okay, you see, massage, therapy, put the child on the therapy ball, you know, okay, on the ball, you do more hugging, ada banyak. Next lagi, I tunjuk lagi, you banyak bagi okay, hi, I'm coming back. Sorry, my internet. Okay. Okay, next kita tengok lagi as in tactile activities lagi. Okay, next slide. Tengok sekejap. Alright, so kita ada tu, nampak tak? That child main shaving foam, main pasir, main bubbles, you know, buih sabun, bubbles. Yes, you kena bagi anak you main. Yes, children should play this, okay? Playing with the jelly, you know, Play-Doh, lotion. Sebab tu lah you tengok children okay. Bila dia main bedak, main lotion dekat rumah, main lipstick mami dekat rumah, dia orang senyap. Why? Because they are focused. The focusing system, the central nervous system is working. So dia bawa kepada, dia proses cantik dekat sini, dia bawa to the frontal side of the brain yang control focus, understanding, comprehension, bla bla bla, semua executive function, semua. Oh, dia datang kat situ, that's why your child is very creative about it. Okay, creative as in get messy lah. Of course, dia start lagi, dia calik sini, they just do the lipstick here and there, okay. They do all the bedak dekat muka, dekat tangan, lotion, habis. So you see, that is a healthy child, you know. But you seem like macam, you yang panic. Oh no, what happened? It's so messy and everything. So actually parents, okay, don't worry. Yes, ya sebenarnya memang anak-anak ni akan messy. They don't know the limit. That's why. Here comes you as the person yang bantu dia tahu limit. Okay, yes, you can still play with the lotion, but please, you bagi bekas dekat dia. Okay, you show, lotion, you put it like this, okay, in here only, this bekas only, okay, then you play with it, yes, and then you play dekat tangan, wow, so lembut. You ajar anak mana, okay, dia dah ambil that lotion, dah letak situ, okay, then next time you letak pula tinggi-tinggi, bila sampai masa you nak main bersama, barulah you main bersama. So you know, jimat you punya lotion. Sama juga bedak or lipstick, apa, you jangan halang anak-anak ni berkreativiti, but you put the limit to them. Itu saja, okay. So squishing the jelly, you see, belilah jelly tu, you know, main jelly, you know, squish the jelly, so strengthen out fine motor bagi dia strength the muscles and joints moving. Ni yang nak bantu untuk function of the holding the pencil, using the scissor, using the knife later. Okay, kat sini you bagi. Alright, I am quite surprised where I see so many parents sangat menghalang anak dia untuk main all these kind of things. Okay, that's the most important thing. Main buih sabun pun tak boleh, you know, membazir sabun dia cakap. Okay, that's why I cakap, anak-anak dia tak tahu limit, they don't know limit. You are the one who provide the limit. Okay, bagi, you search saja messy play like this, even kindergarten teachers, you cari je messy play. You have to structure your messy play things. Dekat tadika, what you can do is, all the messy play, you kena ada dalam satu syllabus you, messy play activities for the tactile. Tactile input ni kena ada. Spaghetti play lah, squishing jelly play lah, main tepung lah, you kena ada this kind of syllabus for a healthy growing child. Okay, so I hope that, don't worry ni I baru cakap pasal tactile, I tak cakap lagi pasal ni. So I hope that lepas ni buka, cari messy play banyak-banyak dekat dalam Google, Pinterest. There are so many messy plays outside there, resources outside there that you can read, that you can ambil sikit, you buat dekat rumah. Spend one day, one time, 2 times, you kena bagi untuk anak you. Spend it. Alah tak lama, 15 minutes pun is quite enough actually. Okay, next. Banyakkan buat latihan wheelbarrow walking, push up. You nampak wheelbarrow is actually merangkak. You positionkan the child into the merangkak punya position, then you lift up the legs, bagi dia jalan dengan tangan. Okay, do the push up dekat wall, push the wall, push daddy until daddy fall down pun tak ada masalah. Push the body, daddy's body pun tak ada masalah. Next. Okay, bagi tolak perabot. Bagi je dia move their body in a functional way. Bagi tolak perabot, bagi tolak benda berat, kotak. Oh, tolak. Tak apa, strengthen out the elbow. Strengthen out the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist, the fingers, okay? So to use it in the education later. Okay, next. Buat chair push up. Teachers, before you start the class, you do the chair push up macam kita buat dulu kan. Pun ada cikgu ada suruh buat chair push up. And then you do a lot of jumping. See, nampak tak main teng-teng macam kita dulu kecil-kecil. So you boleh buat je dekat anak-anak. Okay, next. And then crawling, crawling past the, kita crawl pass by the pillow, crawling under the chair, nak cari letters, you should do this, suruh anak cari sambil crawling, sambil go into the tunnel IKEA, RM50, you boleh beli saja, you know. And then desk stretches, so kita pun, bila kita dah banyak on the table, doing table task, we need some kind of stretching kan. So this is the stretching part yang kita boleh ajar kanak-kanak ni buat, okay. Yes, like that, just stretch. It's okay. It's not an issue. Just take a break, sensory break. This is what we can do. Sebab ni semua sensory activities. So you can just do it in the school, classroom. Boleh buat. Okay. So next. See climbing. Climbing, yes, it's a high risk punya activities lah for a child. Akan ada possibility of jatuh and so on. But that where it comes to your pemantauan. You need to observe the child. Okay. So of course, you kena galakkan dia climbing because climbing requires left and right movement of the body together with your gravity dah semakin lama makin jauh from the ground. You see, so the child should know how to balance themselves when dia dah jauh. Okay, lepas tu dia kena know how to plan the movement. As in, see, outdoor playground, indoor playground. So you bagi swing, slide, merry-go-round, apa lagi. Semua tu ada dekat playground. You boleh bagi. This is all sensory activities. Involve your body, involve your senses kan. Okay, so next. So spinning, berpusing, you know, kena spin, okay. Buat je aktiviti pusing tu dengan anak-anak sampai dia rasa jatuh. So I always use lots of songs macam spinning around a rosy, spinning around a rosy, spinning, we all fall down. Okay, something like that. Sing a song like that kalau nak encourage lagi more fun lah. Okay, next. So, walking on the walking beam, jangan takut bagi anak, you kena try, you pegang tangan dia, encourage them to walk on the balancing, on the walking beam, kena buat, semua ni. Okay, next. Okay, there are so many tools yang boleh bantu vestibular system, trampoline, swinging, buaian, I know, yes, now tak boleh bagi anak keluar, but actually you can find some kind of alternative way lah dekat rumah you should do lah, rocking chair, rocking on the, ataupun spinning on the spinning chair, on the chair yang ada roda tu yang boleh spin tu, on the office chair okay, boleh. So sliding ni I think boleh je creatively gunakan sofa kat rumah. Okay, letakkan tilam so diorang slide, so bagi environment yang, sebab tu bila you bagi environment yang encouraging macam ni dekat their sensory system, they know how to behave themselves when when they go outside. Seriously, believe me, you tak try, you buat, then you will see the result. Okay? Okay, next. Okay, so about the gustatory, certain children have picky eater, senses dia around the mouth tu very sensitive, So usually what I do is I train for the oral motor exercise, tapping, I do the circular motion. Siapa yang macam nak anak dia berus gigi pun takut sensory issue around the mouth kan. So bagi ni, and then stroking, stroke, So bagi dia desensitize around the mouth, alright. Okay, next. Okay, macam ni panjang, tapi I make it short Alright, so kalau boleh, what do I do is actually I always, bila I buat treatment dengan children, I allow lollipop. Okay, I allow lollipop. Why? Because lollipop, I tak guna as in makan lollipop. I use the lollipop to encourage tongue movement. Put the lollipop here ataupun ice cream. Move your tongue here. Because nak encourage proper pronunciation. Nak buang pelat pun ya juga. So I know there are certain parents are very overprotective. Tak nak bagi anak makan all these kind of sweet things and so on. But all those sweet things lah, benda pelik-pelik macam jajan tu semua tu, is actually strengthen out the gustatory, I mean the oral motor function, motor pergerakan pada mulut, nak bantu anak you bercakap. So you kena dedahkan rasa masin dekat anak, kena bagi anak rasa, because you, bukannya I suruh you makan garam, anak makan garam, tak. Ambil 2-3 butir garam, masin. So nampak tak, bila masam pun sama, bila you introduce the senses, masuk je dekat mulut dia ada reaction yang bantu untuk bercakap, Okay, so sugus untuk bagi dia chewy action, nak strengthen the jaw joint dekat sini, keropok, bagilah keropok ikan. Kalau you tak nak bagi keropok chips yang tu pun, you bagilah keropok ikan, okay. Bagilah benda-benda lembut, jelly ke, bubur, kuih-muih kita semua kan. So you kena bagi, you kena bagi anak tu rasa, because dia nak, kat situ yang nak bagi strengthen the central nervous system, nak work out functionally, nak bantu anak you bercakap, nak membaca and so on. Tu dia kat sini yang you kena start. Okay, so you ada your cheat day. Kalau you nak diet, you ada your cheat day. Children pun patut ada cheat day dia. Candy day dia jadilah cheat day. Once in a week. 1 minggu sekali. It's a candy day for you. Yes, today is the candy day. So eat a lot of candies as much as you want. Okay? But then, kena gosok gigi lepas tu. Okay, then. Tapi as much pun you lah control the limit. You know lah much tu banyak mana. Kan? Bukannya I kata as much as you want tu. You yang provide towards the end of the day. You yang provide. So you provide as much as they want lah. As you want for them. Okay? So kalau you kata hari tu 1 lollipop, 1 candy, 1 sugus, cukup lah dia as much as they can lah pada hari tu. Kena ada. Okay, for the strengthening of the mouth. Please think about your child. Okay, now next. Okay, this is chewy things, chewy toys yang usually for those children yang suka biting. I will provide a chewy tube, chewy toys. You boleh cari dekat Lazada, Shopee, semua ada ni semua. So siapa anak-anak yang seeking so please boleh cari all those tools. Okay, then main dengan bau. This is wangi, this is busuk. If you mama kentut pun you cakap je, busuk mama kentut. You can mention that word because dia tahu, oh this is busuk. Ni bau busuk. So you kena bagi rangsangan tu. Okay, then next. Okay, pendengaran. So I actually usually encourage kalau those yang ada issue sensory things with the auditory things, I bagi earphone untuk bantu diorang untuk calming and so on lah. Okay, next. See, we are running out of time. Penglihatan banyakkan kalau dekat classroom, kurangkan visual distraction. Okay, banyakkan menghadap linie kosong bagi anak-anak yang memang ada masalah dengan easily distracted, attention issue. Okay, next. I think banyak sangat ni kot. Okay, so never mind. Next, I just skip for a while. Okay, so all of this yang I kata I bagi semua activities ni semuanya adalah sensory diet, khas particularly for our children with sensory processing disorder ataupun tak disorder pun, normal children pun would benefit much from it. So you kena bagi, okay? So I think next ada lagi tak? My slide. Okay, so itu saja. Cukup 1 hour. Memang I am kejar masa. So you nampak the very importance of sensory activities yang you kena bagi, you dah ada knowledge now, kena bagi pada anak-anak. You tak dia fitrah ataupun dia sensory development ni you kena guide, you kena know the limit. Nak bagi anak banyak mana and so on, tapi jangan halang. That's the main thing. Jangan halang langsung. Okay, because as the child grows up, 0 to 6 years old is very important stage. Okay, so now if there is any questions regarding my Puan Amy.
Subhanallah, very good sharing session interesting, very informative. Thank you so much Puan Norliyana. Okay, we have a few questions here. Okay, the first question, in other words, is it important to make sure a child's environment is protected from negative stimuli, or should we expose them to both the good and bad so that they are able to grow into more independent and emotionally strong adults? Stimulation untuk child's environment tu macam mana?
Macam mana you determine the negative and positive environment tu is actually depends on you. Okay, kalau for example macam takkan you nak bawa anak you pergi tempat yang yang penuh dengan penagih dadah. You know what I mean? Kan sebab kalau bukan dia macam ni, kanak-kanak ni you tak perlu fikir terlalu jauh sangat for them. You don't have to think about too much. You just macam nourish dia. Actually kalau you dalam rumah apartment pun, you can still provide those activities at home. Then from there lah, biar otak dia sendiri yang plan about it. Ni benda salah, orang isap rokok tu betul ke tak betul ke, orang isap dadah tu bagus ke tak bagus later on, because 0 to 6 years old punya age adalah age yang very innocent. Okay, so innocent means you kena start from scratch sahaja, tak perlu pergi jauh. As a Muslim pun, you jangan cakap you tak anak, you tak hormat orang tua, nanti you masuk neraka. Tak boleh. No, you cannot tell them. Itu salah to me, what you should do is actually you go into the activities ataupun play activities itself. Involve, yang I banyak bagi activities tu semua play, betul tak? Semuanya play. I tak kata you kena pergi dekat rumah, dekat kelab malam. So it's actually yang itu later on. Yang sekarang ni, that's why because of the involvement in play session yang I mentioned just now, activities yang I bagi just now, anak tu actually percayalah cakap saya dia memang boleh fikir sendiri. As long as you bagi. And then you guide, and then you try to limit yang mana tak betul. Tak betul is bila dah jadi terlalu messy rumah, dah terlalu sampai you dah cederakan diri you, patah tangan, tu dah terlalu sangat. Betul tak? You need to control them. Okay, then itu yang penting. Yang lama-lama dia pun sendiri akan belajar benda tu. So they know, masuk kelab malam. Later on bila dia adult, dia tahu, kelab malam is something not for me lah. Something like that. I tak masuk lah. Dia akan tahu sendiri.
Thank you. Okay, another question. Is it okay if kids are using excessive makeup play? Is it okay to use excessive makeup play?
Dia depends lah, sebab kan you tengoklah cerita-cerita kartun sekarang kan macam Fancy Nancy, ada so many wow things, you know. So ada gelang lah, ada bracelet, ada macam-macam kan. You see, it's actually okay. Dia bukanlah excessive. Maksudnya macam if that child wants to explore what's the feeling of using the lips. lipstick, using the blusher and so on, nak making good. Tak apa, tak ada masalah. Tapi yalah, if we go too much, you post it on social media, there are so many pedophiles out there yang kita tak tahu, yang kita memang tengok. That's why I cakap parents ataupun adults yang patut tahu the limit. How far you should go with the child. Alah, setakat nak bagi anak tu main blusher, bagi eyeshadow lah, apa semua, bagilah. Somehow is good kalau parents accompany, kan? So parents do together. It's like a bonding, sharing time with the parents, So make it like that saja. Tak perlu kita pergi jauh-jauh, kan? Okay.
Okay, we have another question from Izzuddin. How can we train children to be more focused? I notice that my son gives up easily when he needs to focus on something.
Yes, depends on the things that you want to focus on your child. Apa yang you nak your child focus on? Okay, for example, kanak-kanak, you tengok kalau anak tu umur setahun sampai 3 tahun, the focus is actually, tu saya tanya, bila cakap pasal focus, it's actually too big for me to determine lah, to explain. Because kadang-kadang you nak 1 hingga 3 tahun, you nak on reading. I mean, how long can they actually focus on the reading? And do they understand the concept of reading yet? 1 to 3 years old? If they don't understand, then you go for play. That's why play is actually a working, is actually a job ataupun a working situation for a child. Dia memang play ni memang kerja budak je. Because from there, you imagine, you nak ajar anak you huruf A pun, you cuba you buat on the paper, on the paper and on the sand. Okay, so you tengok yang mana lagi senang dia faham dan yang mana lagi senang dia boleh fokus. I tell you, dia akan lagi suka dengan pasir, dia akan lagi suka dengan texture. You form the letter A on the spaghetti, okay, using spaghetti ke fries ke apa, oh this is A, then you ambil, you makan rasa. As compared to you use the paper, pencil, dia takkan minat. So fokus dia akan lari lah pada paper and pencil.
Meaning to say that when you have to use the child's interest lah kan, so to make sure that dia akan fokus kan. So to bring on dia punya fokus, dia punya interest tu kena explore by play kan.
Betul.
By playing tu kita tahu apa yang interest that child tu.
Betul.
Am I right?
Yes. So sebab itulah actually usia yang sesuai untuk kanak-kanak pergi enter the kindergarten pun 4 to 6 pun dah sesuai sebenarnya. Dah sesuai. They can take up formal learning, but then still involvement of play session tu jangan dilupakan. So macam so you know, so kita kena apa, yalah, kita kena macam tu lah, kena tahulah anak-anak 4 hingga 6 ni masih lagi fasa bermain dia masih tinggi, curiosity, exploration masih lagi tinggi. So jangan limitkan yang itu. Tapi you boleh bagi belajar, tapi at the same time bagilah banyak main kan. Macam tu.
Okay, we have one more question from Nasra Hamdan. Okay, hi Liana, one and a half year old boy tak pandai chew makanan. He will just swallow the food. What kind of stimulation is good for him?
Yang saya cakap tadi lah, the oral stimulation, oral exercise tadi kan, all the stroking, stroking macam ni, okay, and the tapping, as well as the circular motion around the mouth, itu the outer side of the mouth. And then also boleh saja train guna chewy tube tadi, the tools yang I dah cakap tadi kan, the chewy tube tools, suruh dia gigit dulu, ajar dia chew dekat bahagian geraham belakang ni, chew, okay, and then slowly introduce dengan some kind of chewy texture of food lah. For example, macam I think kuih muih kita pun bagus, macam kuih lapis, you know, some sort of that, kita bagi dia belajar untuk chew the texture yang macam tu lah, yang chewy texture. Yes, ada budak memang dia tak pandai nak chew, so expected speech memang out. Memang tak produce any kind of speech kalau dia swallow sahaja. So 1 year old patut dah boleh one word at least, nak, bak, beda, dah, okay, air, something like that, sebut something, okay. So ma, pa, mama, papa wajib dah boleh sebut 1 year old. But then if let's say dia masih lagi ada issues related with the mouth, kena treat lah from there. Kena treat. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, Puan Norliyana, do you have any last words to share? I mean like your center, your phone number, your contact details or anything?
Okay. I do have center that I can actually buat initial assessment to detect any kind of children with delay developmental issues lah, such as speech dia ke, sensory issue dia ke, you know, fine motor issue, gross motor and so on lah. Behavior issue pun I boleh tengok. Okay, but it's actually for initial, meaning that datang dulu untuk assessment. Okay, then kalau untuk diagnosis, kita tak pergi terlalu awal. Maksudnya mungkin kena go for treatment dulu, treatment as in therapy. Me myself, I will do the therapy things. Okay, so then baru kita akan go for report for diagnosis pula later on kalau kata tak ada improvement lah. Okay, so you can boleh je you boleh ambil my phone number. Kalau ada any kind of issues yang nak ni okay, 011 okay, 011 3242 3242 okay, 0876 0876. Okay, so 011 3242 0876.
Okay, Puan Norliyana, we have another question. Sorry Is it okay for 4 years old untuk belum pandai sangat menulis, belum masuk tadika lagi? Is it okay? 4 years old yang tak pandai tulis?
Sebenarnya 4 years old dah boleh dah pegang pensel macam kita pegang, which is 3 fingers ataupun 4 fingers. I tak ada, okay, sekejap, I take my pencil ke pen ke, okay, like this So usually dia dah boleh pegang 3 jari macam ni meruncing, okay, ataupun 4 jari macam gini meruncing, okay. So it should be like that. Kalau masih lagi macam ni, this is 1 to 2 years old punya pattern. Okay, 2 to 3 dia akan macam gini sikit. Okay, so 4 years old basically dah boleh dah sikit macam kita. At least sebab tu I cakap 4 years old pun dah sesuai, dah masuk kindergarten sebenarnya. Sebab tapi make sure bila fine motor dia dah strengthen, you tengok balik pada sensory issues dia. Kalau kata boleh, you try dulu bagi sensory activities ni dekat anak, okay, lepas tu barulah you akan nampak effect dia in terms of macam mana anak tu determine nak pegang pensel macam mana. By right 4 tahun memang dah boleh
Okay, ada lagi. Boleh tak anak-anak dikatakan introvert atau extrovert sebab ada anak macam kurang berminat nak buat aktiviti luar?
Introvert, extrovert ni actually personality. Okay, dia personality. Okay, macam ni. Untuk kanak-kanak, sebenarnya memang semua orang pun ada personality tertentu, introvert atau extrovert masing-masing. Okay, tapi untuk kanak-kanak, kalau dia tak berminat nak buat aktiviti luar ataupun outdoor, this is something wrong somewhere lah. Meaning that dia mungkin ada anxiety tertentu, kita takut dia ada underlying issues apart from personality yang dia ada tu. Dia ada issues lain. Contoh, kita memanglah ada setengah budak dia pendiam tapi bila involve dengan activities boleh je. Dia boleh je, cuma dalam kelas tu dia diam je kan. Kita ada je anak-anak yang yang extrovert yang memang very saya cikgu, saya nak. Ada je kanak-kanak yang macam tu. Kan? Okay. Tapi kalau kata anak tak nak involve dengan aktiviti luar, kita takut dia ada some kind of anxiety lah. Which is maksudnya dia takut nak pijak tanah ke, dia takut dengan slide tu akan jatuh, you know, mak dia selalu cakap naik slide je jatuh, kan macam tu. So kita tak nak ada isu-isu macam tu lah.
Okay, one last question. Okay, how to how to overcome boredness among children during PKPB? Various indoor activities have been done but they tend to go play outside. Ni yang terbalik pula, dia nak keluar pula.
Dia macam ni lah Puan. Okay, I know sebab tu zaman kita dulu, kita ni semua outside kan. Kita semua outside. Sebab outside tu memang satu orang kata fitrah kita. Kita as a human, we should go outside. Tak ada orang yang boleh duduk dalam rumah selama-lamanya. Okay, to me why don't, we just allow them to pijak tanah juga. Kalau you tinggal dekat apartment, bukan you tak boleh turun langsung dekat bawah, on the ground, betul tak? You can still go to the ground. Okay, it's just macam maybe anak-anak ni dia just macam nak lepaskan dia punya activeness. So dia mungkin nak okay, why not kita plan, okay, today, that's why you have to tell the children, okay, today activities is what? Okay, today activities mungkin main polis-polis dalam rumah saja ke? Main masak-masak dalam rumah. Okay, main cikgu-cikgu dalam rumah. Okay, lepas tu kalau kita nak main kat luar, besok kita main kat luar pula. Kita main lari-lari, hide and seek pula dekat luar. Okay, with pemantauan parents lah of course Okay, so and also tak salah to let children to be bored sometimes. Bila dia
Oh, tak
boring,
salah.
tak salah. Dia akan ada so many ideas. Bila dia boring, allow them to take a break, boring sekejap. Dia akan ada sama idea. Tapi of course lah pada saya, kalau boleh parents plan lah. Macam I pun during PKP dulu, memang plan. Okay, today kita main cikgu-cikgu. Hari ni kita main apa lagi? Kita main jual-jual barang. Sediakanlah duit kertas yang contoh kertas warna-warna, warna hijau untuk RM10. Contoh kan, warna merah untuk berapa ringgit semualah. So kita plan like that lah untuk anak-anak.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so, alright everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you so much Puan Norliyana. Hopefully we have another session nanti insyaAllah in future.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those who are watching, please don't forget to fill up the feedback form and then just check out on our next webinar series. Okay, I'm Aini Farina from Center of Education and Language, the ECE Program Coordinator, signing off. Thank you.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you
Assalamualaikum
juga.
Puan.
Selamat malam. Okay, bye.